Today's walk is a place I've actually been inside of many, many times, but it's never been on my channel, so here we are. Today we're going to visit the historic Buffalo Central Terminal. Let's go. The Central Terminal was opened in 1929, and its peak of activity was during World War II. It officially closed in 1979, and in 1984 was added to the National Register of Historic Places. Now, it has been through a lot of owners during its lifetime, but the one owner of note was Anthony Fedeli, because he actually lived in the Central Terminal during his time here, and at least one report of the paranormal activity from the terminal emanates from his apartment. Hear them bells? Isn't that awesome? I love the sound of that. So, as you can see, during the time of this filming, the property here at the terminal is under renovation, which is good because it's going to help ensure the future of this place for generations to come. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get as close as I would like to, but we're still going to get some shots of the perimeter. We're still going to get ourselves a walk around. So we're going to still get a great feel for the place. Now, I have been inside of this location many, many times, as I've said before. And I can assure you, I can tell you that the inside of this place is grand. In fact, one of the things that's very cool from a personal point of view is the fact that I was in here during its heyday. I've actually been to the concession stands in here, bought magazines, candy with my father when he would take me here. I've actually seen the clock in the main hallway. I've actually seen and touched the buffalo in the main hallway. Now, the clock itself will be coming back to that main hallway during the renovations. The buffalo I'm not so sure of because it was destroyed during renovations when one of a worker's truck actually backed into it and smashed it. So I'm hoping that when this opens up, we're definitely going to get inside, but that's going to be a job for future me. If there ever was a building in Western New York that just was the definition of sacred architecture, it's definitely the Central Terminal here. It just resounds with that kind of energy. It's no wonder that it has become a conduit for various types of paranormal activity. When people think sacred architecture, they think like the Ghostbusters movie with the buildings that they use there. This here is actually very similar to that, and it's no surprise that there's a lot of reports of paranormal activity that emanate from the terminal. Listen to that. Isn't this so cool that you could be here at the Central Terminal and literally still hear trains? Let's just take that in for a minute. I really hope this translates to the camera. How cool is that? It's like actual living history. The trains were a little different, but it's still the same idea. You can almost hear the people moving around. Almost. That's something you might get if you were actually in there. So, okay. Oh, listen to that. Before I start, let's take this in again. Again, we're at the Central Terminal, and what are we hearing? Trains. This isn't paranormal, but it's just so cool to be here and actually hear something like that. It's like we're here and we're still doing living history. Yeah. Listen to all that, the train horns, the screeching of the wheels. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Unless, of course, it was a period train. It was actually supernatural. But you know what? I'll take it. It's going that way, and it's going up past that way. It's going past the actual areas where, back in this place's heyday, thousands of people got on and off these trains on a daily basis. That's so cool. Anyway, okay. The paranormal activity. I'm sure that's the question everyone wants to know. What do people report from the central terminal? Well, it's kind of exactly what you would expect. But the one story that I want to talk about, I brought up Anthony Fedeli, who actually not only owned the terminal for a period of time, he actually lived in here in an apartment up there in the upper floors. So what folks have reported was there was a spot where there was a water fountain. Of course, it's not there anymore. But the water fountain just kind of randomly appears at times and then will just disappear. Crazy, right? Other reports of paranormal activity are a phantom cat. Well, that I'm not so sure of. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stray cats that are running around this neck of the woods. And I'm interested to know what would make that a phantom cat. There have been folks in here who have been in here by themselves, and they've heard voices and footsteps, like the place was bustling with activity. People have said they have seen shadow people darting all over the place. Not a surprise. There is the crying woman who's been seen in the areas where, back during World War II, there was a staging area for coffins for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice during the war. It's very possible that she shows up still mourning a loved one, probably a husband, brother, lover, whatever have you. Another interesting character that's talked about here is the conductor, who actually shows up in, of course, period outfit, and is doing a job still that he did many, many years ago. There's also been reports of phantom passengers who have been seen just milling through here doing their day-to-day business, getting off trains, getting on trains, reading their newspapers, things that they would have normally done. This place, you got to remember, its heyday was teeming with people, and they were traveling from place to place. So there was a lot of energy. There was a lot of people going to war, coming home from war, going to see loved ones, going on business. So probably a lot of anxiety involved. Now, what do I think of the reports of the paranormal activity? What do they correlate for what I think is actually happening here? Well, each and every report of paranormal activity that's coming from this location to me, it just says to me that it's probably almost 100% residual. Now, what does that mean? What's a residual haunt? Okay, so a place like this, with its sacred architecture, all the copper, all the metal, all the concrete, all of the energy it took to even erect a place like this, it's just gonna, almost like a tape recorder, just everything that's going on around it is going to be absorbed by the building. So what I'm thinking is that it's mostly all just leftover energy from the daily activity that happened here. Especially, once again, you had people in mourning, you had people very sad, you had people excited, you had anxiety everywhere. And when you put that many people and that much emotions in one place, that energy can become trapped in that place. And I really believe that that's exactly what's going on here. Does that explain the shadow people? Not really. Some spirits could actually be attracted to a place like this. Has there been reports of, intelligent activity where something has actually interacted with an investigator or a person? Well, if there is, I haven't found it, but I'm not saying it hasn't happened, because this place has been investigated by tours groups. So the doors like this ever open up to me, right, and go in there for some kind of a ghost hunt or paranormal thing, I'm going to definitely see if I can come up with something like that. You know, possibly some EVPs, maybe some spirit photography, anything like that. Because if you're going to catch anything like that, you're going to catch it in a place just like this. Now, it's funny that the trains are there because another one of the reports that come out from this place is phantom trains. How cool would that be? These, not phantom trains. But on a night when you hear noises just like that and there's not a train in sight, that's an entire different story. Well, I really, really wish I could have did more of a walk around and tour of this place here, but unfortunately they have it well fenced off, and that's good because a place like this can easily become a home to the homeless people, or worse yet, fall prey and victim to vandalism, which we don't want. We want this place to be completely repaired. We want it to be structurally sound and fixed for many, many generations to come. Because right now, where I was over there in that lawn, they already use it for car shows, movie nights, lawn fetes, get-together. So the folks that have actually purchased this and are using this place are doing a phenomenal job. And I say kudos to them because these places like this here need to be around for generations to come. Well, that being said, I'm out of here. So, thank you for joining this little walk of mine. This is very exciting. It's the first one of my new era of Western Door Paranormal Studies. Remember to hit that like button and like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you this premium content. So, until next time. Well, like I stated before, if I'm on a location and I do happen to catch paranormal activity, I'm going to share it. And guess what? It happened. Now, when I did the central terminal here, I came out very early in the morning to avoid people, to make sure I didn't have crowds of people around to, get in the way of the filming or to possibly contaminate any of the potential evidence. So I was out there, I would say it was probably about 8:30 in the morning, and I literally had nobody around me. There wasn't a soul in sight, or so I thought. So this particular clip, there was a train going off, and I was commenting about how this here was basically living history. Now, as I say this, a female voice says, yes, it's a Class A EVP. It was amazing, and it was just an incredible capture. So what this does, it shows that there is actual intelligent paranormal activity going on around the central terminal. Now, I had stated that I believe most of the paranormal activity at the central terminal was residual, and I'm actually sticking by that. But in this case, we had evidence of an intelligent haunt. I mean, this spirit had to have been standing right next to me to come through this clear. Now, who do I think it was? Well, I have nothing to back up exactly who I think it was, but could it be the crying lady that has been reported inside and around the central terminal? I would say it's possible, but without too much to back it up, I can't say for sure. But one thing that is certain, it is a Class A EVP. So go ahead and give this one a listen. Listen to that. Before I start, let's take this in again. Again, we're at the central terminal, and what are we hearing? Trains. This isn't paranormal, but it's just so cool to be here and actually hear something like that. It's like we're here and we're still doing living history. Yeah. Listen to all that, the train horns, the screeching of the wheels. It doesn't get any better than this, folks.